It's top 10. It's top that. Which team will come out on top? Who will be the top of the tops? Who will be the top team? Will I ever stop saying top? I'll just say top till I just can't stop. Ah, JTH humor, gotta love it. Anyway, the winner of this match will play the real top team, the Patriots, for an opportunity at the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Championships. So without further ado, let's see who will come out on top today on JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. So you may remember in my last Schmoedown reaction, I kind of talked about the Patreon page that Schmoedown has put together, and at the time I talked about how at the time I was not able to do it. Well, I'm now happy to say that as of this recording, and as of February 2nd, I officially went on to Patreon for the very first time and became a Patreon supporter. Me personally, I have made a $50 pledge to the Schmoedown because just think of it as a thank you to everything that Christian and everybody working at Collider and Schmoedown have done, and to everybody here that has supported my page for the 7 months that I've been doing this. So at the time of this recording, I believe there are more than 1,400 Patreon supporters to Schmoedown, but we can always have more. Schmoedown can use all the support and help that they can because the show is great and they deserve it. So I want to personally thank every single person that has made a donation so far to Schmoedown. Thank you very much, and I'm sure they would say the same thing. But without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, guys? If you didn't know about the Patreon, you guys have a chance to support the Schmoedown.
And of course, he's bringing it up
now.
now.
We've taken over the production. Basically, you guys have 16 tiers to choose from. We're trying to give back to the fans. Go and check it out right there. If you want to support the Schmoedown by becoming a patron today, go ahead and do it. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've given us. And yeah, there's some really
personally, I think of all the tiers, I think
go do it. It's a good match.
Probably the best recommended one to do if you want the most overall content is probably the $10 pledge, because what Christian was bringing up, gotta show that, $10 Patreon supporters will have access to an exclusive Patreon exclusive Schmoedown match. That is something that they have been pushing and hyping for. So if you make a minimum $10 donation and pledge, you will have access to that match. Either an exclusive match or a match that is released far in advance on Patreon that will eventually be put up on YouTube. So great access to that. But you will get any kind of rewards for any kind of pledge. But me personally, I think $10 is probably the best case scenario for many people to get the most access to the Schmoedown content behind the scenes. Now, as far as who I think is going to win this match, who I want to win and who I think is going to win right now is a little bit different. Obviously, you know who I want to win, Outlaw Nation. I want top 10 to win. As far as who I think is going to win, top that is a very scary team. I'm not going to lie. Vejvoda and Goldman, very, very scary team. I mean, it would be silly for me to say that top that is the toughest team that top 10 has played, because obviously they've played the Patriots twice. It's hard to say that the toughest team we played is not a team that wasn't undefeated, but I think the most intimidating team, you can definitely make that case for top that. Vejvoda is just, you know, a walking encyclopedia and dictionary of movie trivia knowledge. I'm going to be curious to see how all around a game that Matt and John can play. I was getting ready to point that out too. I like the color code feature that they've done for the matches this year. Singles, as you know, is now in the red code. Blue will be the teams. The Intergeekdom will be green, and Star Wars I think will be yellow, if I remember correctly. Hello, Ken. Hello, Christian. I think this will be interesting. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how top 10 will fare. It's been a while since they've actually had. Well, I take that back. The tournament, the team tournament match against Blofeld's Cat, they actually had a pretty damn good match. It's kind of hard to base anything based on their performance on their match with Action, because that match was pretty much over before it started. So it's not really anything you can gauge from that match.
These guys are 3-1 with 3 knockouts. They have been on a damn.
I'm going to be really curious to see which team shows up.
But they are going up easily. Their hardest shot so far against the former champions, top 10, who destroyed Team Action at the Schmoedown Spectacular this past December.
You know, I always say I don't ever want to take anything away from top 10. They are former champs for a reason. They know what they're doing. They are in the upper echelon, but they've been around a long, and they got to be looking over their shoulders. They've been around a long time. They got to wonder who's going to take their spot. I feel there's a lot of pressure on them going into the season to keep up with their prior accomplishments, but they do have those accomplishments. But
the one advantage I think top 10 might have, obviously a match with Team Action would have been very emotionally draining and fatiguing, but the fact that they have now had a month and a half off since the last match is probably exactly what they needed and would have afforded for a match like that.
We took care of Team Action. We're back here again. We're taking on Team.
Hey, John's wearing my shirt. Oh, he's wearing black. I'm wearing a. Probably can hardly tell because of my crappy camera, but it's a navy blue.
At least according to them.
Team top 10, I think.
Schmeddy and Juice Box.
Yeah, and I think it's Schmoka.
Schmoka.
Donnie Most. I think
Mocha.
was the other guy.
You know,
John Mocha.
Woke us up. Not just by knocking me down in an assault and battery charge, but they woke us up. And now we're back.
At least it wasn't assault with a battery.
Now we're gonna take this shot and top that out.
You should fear us because we are clearly two people who are only smart at movies. We literally, I was told there was pizza and I walk in the door and now I'm this close to being a champion. I think that is something to be afraid of.
John, does it bother you at all that these guys don't give a damn about the entire Schmoedown?
Yeah.
They haven't watched it. They didn't know our names. I was Donnie Most and this was John Schmoka. Apparently, legitimately thought his name was Schmoka.
Of all the people I've faced in my travels, they are the ones maybe I have a smidgen of respect for, but no fear. And that is a very important distinction. I do not fear any of my opponents. Them I respect maybe just a wee bit, but, you know, ignorance is bliss.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny. Listen.
Yeah.
We take out Team
So
I
this
don't
is
give
funny.
a fuck who they are.
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing a top 10 match and, you know, seeing
Yeah.
top 10
We get
be
a shot at Team
the straight
Communists.
guys,
Trotsky.
while the other guys tend to always be funny. And now it's the other way around. Now top that is trying to play the humor role, and
that's over.
I take that back. Now top that is trying to play the straight guys, while top 10 is now cracking all the jokes. Which is kind of weird. It's kind of out of character.
All right, okay, all right, I do. I forget. Where am I? I just know I'm here for one thing: eating free pizza and kicking ass at movie trivia.
And he's all out of pizza.
I am.
Okay,
We
Duke
gotta bring some
Nukem.
prestige and respect back to the Schmoedown.
Thank you.
The rightful champion should be holding that tag team belt. Once we take care of top that, Patriots, Communists, Leftists, Red Scare, Mao Zedong, I don't give a shit what you call yourselves, we're taking you out. And we're putting those belts back around our waist.
You gotta play a complete game though.
Team
That's the
top
problem.
10.
They've had 2 matches against him, and they have not played a complete game yet against them.
They were just here to eat pizza and get a chance to play
Like
the
I
Patriots.
saw
I
all
don't
their
think they know
freaking
the Patriots are the champions.
matches
I don't think
against
that they have
during
been
the
care. They
Ultimate
just
Team
wanna come in
Schmoedown,
and
and I'm
show
like,
dominance.
why couldn't y'all have done that
Top
when
that.
y'all played the Patriots?
Are they
I
going
can't
to-
figure it out.
This is really their
I don't know if it's
They
just
can
the
make a stand. If they handle top
those
10
mind games that
the
the
way they
Patriots
handle the
play.
other
It
teams
just
they
gets to
played,
them.
then
I
they're
don't
for real.
get it. I
They
don't
played
understand it.
a
But
really good match with top 10.
whatever reason,
For
they
real.
just have not been able to
If they
put a complete performance together when they play Snyder and JTE.
Agree with you. I really do. I talked to my counselor about
Which is
this,
the
but
thing.
you're
It would not surprise me at all if they play great in this game.
You're very right,
But
because as much as I
ultimately,
love that,
it doesn't
they
matter
have
if
to
you
prove themselves.
can't get it done
Upper echelon
in the
includes
match
the
that
top 10. I
really
admit
matters.
that. I have admitted that legally. But this is key for top 10. I just don't think they're feeling the pressure.
Well, it's certainly key for top 10, who I don't know if pressure is the word anymore, because you look
Because
at
this game worries me. It does. Obviously, I think top 10 has all the means that they can to win, but they are much more inconsistent than Vivida and Goldman. Even in the game that the new top that lost, I think they scored like 33 points, 32 points. Like, they haven't had a bad game since they come into the league.
Yeah, you know, you're right. They don't feel pressure. It's like Roca on a second date. He's like, all right, I didn't think I'd get this far. I'm here. Let's do it.
I mean, you are a heel. All right, here we go. Give me a little bit of those stats here in the tail of the tape. Top 10, top that. What do you got?
Top 10 former champions there. Strengths include biopics,
Cowboy
westerns.
hats.
I asked Matt Dose, what are your strengths? He's like, what do you got? I am
Strength
here to
and
compete.
cowboy
I know
hats.
everything. Confident indeed. Top that.
Still don't know where
What are
mine
their
is.
strengths?
Freaking
Name
lost
a
it.
category.
Comic book movies.
Strengths.
Classics.
Strengths.
Classic, animated, every other genre.
That's pretty good.
I would assume that's pretty much everything.
You saying that
Would you?
gets me ready. Are you ready to go?
Legally, I am ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the
Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
3 rounds in the team division for the #1 contenders.
Let's
Introducing
do
first,
this.
with a record of 3 wins, 1 defeat, and 3 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's right, it is
give
3
up
knockouts.
for
Forgot about that part.
Goldman, Jim, Darth Vivida. They are Team Top 10.
Here to compete.
Ready to compete. Coming out to the team which
The best game that they played was their 1 defeat. As strange as that is. Oh, the glasses are on.
Not intimidated at all.
No.
And
They mean business.
With a record of
Champ is
7
here.
wins, 4
We hope they're
defeats,
here.
and 1
We wish they're
knockout.
here.
They are the 2015 Ultimate Schmoedown semifinalists.
2015. Well, that is so 2 years ago. Technically, it would be 2 years ago because it was just. It would have been a month from, or 2 months from 2 years ago. Yes, it's 2018. That doesn't mean it's 3 years ago. Incorrect.
Old school Roca coming out here with the mask on.
Oh, the mask is back on. I wonder what that
Very
means.
Sam Rockwell of him. Nominated for an Oscar this year, man.
Right. You have to wonder, as Outlaw talks to the crowd, is this another
Nice to see Matt dressed for the occasion.
Now, Outlaw's never even been near Baby. Look, he's near Baby Eric. Yeah. Give him a little pat,
He's
little-
dressing like I would if I showed up there.
All right, guys, here we go. Round #1 is going to work like this. 8 questions, each one worth 1 point apiece.
Back to the red marker. Wasn't able to find my red marker in the first match. Now I found it. Yay. That was a great story. I'm sure you were all excited to hear that one.
Meaning you can ask to repeat a question 3 times throughout the match. 3 times. You also have a challenge rule. Make sure if you don't know how to
Gotta do
use a
the
challenge rule,
marker trick.
ask.
Make sure it
We'll
works.
tell you otherwise. Prepare to use a challenge rule if needed. All right, top 10. Are you ready?
It's the old shot brag, which I
Then
kept for the
let's
workplace.
get ready to Schmoedown!
Yay! But workplace don't even know that.
Here we go. Round #1. Question #1 in the realm of directors. Who
Directors.
directed
Oh,
the 1994 Best Picture nominee quiz show? You don't know that.
I do.
You're looking at the answers. Yeah, see?
Don't start with me already.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Paul Thomas Anderson?
Robert Redford.
That is correct. Jim,
Robert Redford.
Roca,
Robert Redford.
Eric.
Paul something.
Oh, so
Ooh.
top
You're
that.
thinking Paul
Well,
Anastasio.
Didn't know a director. I'm sure that shocks everybody.
Question two category is comedies. In 1991's Father of the Bride, who plays the eccentric wedding coordinator Frank Egelhofer?
Have you ever seen? You've definitely seen this.
Oh, it's one of my favorite
course,
comedies.
of course.
You know,
I
I
have
like
no
to
clue.
laugh every
Actually,
now and
did
then.
not hear these
5,
movies.
4, 3, 2.
I'm gonna say
1.
Chevy
Jim.
Chase.
Martin Short.
Correct. Roca.
Martin Short.
Correct. Eric.
Martin Short.
And Matt.
Martin Short.
There you go. All
Oh,
on board.
the other,
Top 10.
the other
Not
funny
missing.
guy. That was always with
4-3.
Steve Martin.
Battle of the Tops, and Top 10 has it. All right, here we go. Number 3.
Oh, for 2.
Promise.
Now that's more like it.
Who played the lead, Will Freeman, in the 2002 comedy drama About a Boy? I'd like to see something about JTE. Just can't get anything right in spelling. See? You
Don't
laughed.
make me laugh.
You
All
got it.
right.
You're a traitor again.
Don't do
5, 4, 3, 2,
Screw it.
1.
Let's go
Roca.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hugh Grant.
Correct. Eric.
Hugh Grant.
Oh,
Matt.
Hugh Grant.
And Jim.
Hugh Grant.
Look at that. There we go. Battle. The battle.
glad they
One
know.
point difference.
Because I sure as hell don't.
Okay.
Question 4, category is horror thriller. Horror thriller. Who played Quentin Tarantino's brother in From Dusk Till Dawn? Wasn't allowed to see that.
Is that true?
4 ain't my thing. I'm not even. I'm just gonna do
5, 4, 3,
that.
2, 1. Eric.
The dreamy George Clooney.
Correct. Matt.
George Clooney.
Jim.
George Clooney.
Roca.
George Clooney.
There you go.
George
All right,
Clooney
so
was in a
Roca
horror
and Jim
thriller?
have not missed yet. Here we go.
I find
Next
that
one.
hard to believe.
Next one. Action adventure. Who directed 2010's Robin Hood?
The Russell Crowe one. What was it?
This is a
Squeaks of concentration right there.
Oh yeah. 5,
A directing movie.
3, 2, 1. Matt.
Took a guess. Ridley Scott.
That's correct. Jim.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott,
Ridley
the
Scott.
Aliens guy.
Ridley Scott.
Wow, look at this.
look at
What
that.
a battle.
The Aliens guy did a
10-9.
Robin Hood
Those
movie.
Roca and Jim have not missed yet. Here we go. Next question.
All right, question 6, crime. Crime. Who was said to be sleeping with the fishes in The Godfather?
Rachel Cushing just punched herself in
If
the
you need
leg.
to repeat, if you need to repeat, ask for it.
Mark Riley.
Can you repeat?
Yes.
All right, that is one JT rule. Category crime. Who was said to be sleeping with the fishes in The Godfather?
I should know that.
5,
I don't know why I don't.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Jim.
I can't believe I'm going to forget this one. Angeli?
It's incorrect. John.
Luca Brasi.
Correct. Eric.
Oh.
Eric.
Fredo.
Nothing. Matt.
Luca Brasi.
Wow.
Ooh.
Top 10 taking a big lead there.
That was huge.
Big lead. 3-point lead.
I don't know how to spell it.
3-point lead. All right, there you go. Next one. Here we go. Category of fantasy sci-fi. What was David Levinson's plan to defeat the aliens in the first Independence Day film?
I mean, you used the word film to describe that.
I'm sorry.
And
I should have said
no, I
movie.
respect that.
No.
I respect that.
I don't know if I should have said that. I feel bad about myself. Did I turn heel just now? 5, 4,
Flying to the beam.
2, 1. John Roca.
I don't know. Computer virus?
Correct.
That's correct.
Oh,
Eric.
computer virus.
Correct. Matt.
Implant a virus in their computer.
That's fine.
Correct.
Jim.
Computer virus.
There you go. Okay, so Roca going really old school and pretending he didn't know the question.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just couldn't put computer virus.
All right.
Top 10 as a team is perfect right now. Matt and
That's
John
true.
have not
Didn't
missed yet.
even realize that.
Final question, 8th question coming in the category of animated.
Oh, I might get
Which
one.
characters from the Madagascar series had their own spin-off movie in 2014? What?
5,
The Penguins.
3, 2, 1, and Eric.
Penguins.
That's
is
correct. Matt.
The Penguins.
Perfect
That's
round for
correct.
Matt Nose. Jim.
Penguins.
That's
And
correct.
John.
The Penguins.
The top 10.
Wow.
I believe that is the first perfect team round that we have ever had. I think this is the first time a team has ever been perfect
I get a
together.
chance to
So
get
the way
two
it'll work
now.
is top bet will not answer
Yay!
this question. This is just for top 10.
That was bad.
This is
That was
the
a bad
bonus
performance
question.
on my part.
Both the guys have a chance to get a point here. They have to write it down just like they have been previously. Here we go. Here's your bonus question for top 10. In 2006's Babel, Kate Blanchett plays opposite Brad Pitt. But in which film from 2008 Do the two also star together?
No, I would expect nothing less from these teams right now.
They're ready. Look,
This is a
top 10.
match.
Top 10 looks hungry.
I will
And
put the
5,
pen away.
It's a long time.
4, 3, 2, 1. Matt,
The curious case of Benjamin Button.
Roca.
The curious case of Benjamin
That is
Button.
a perfect round.
Wow.
That is a 5-point swing there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think they've done
Top
pretty
10
well.
Hitting every question in the first round. The bonus, they have a 5-point
I think
lead.
they're
That is
going just fine.
The biggest lead anyone's ever had over top that. As we get into round number 2, here
So
we
much
go.
for that
The wheel
inconsistency
round.
factor.
Wheel will come out. They will spin the wheel. Each team will spin the wheel. They will get 6 questions worth 2 points apiece. If they go to multiple choice, 1 point. You can steal from your opponents in this round. Top 10, you guys have a 5-point lead. You want to go first or second?
We're going to go first.
Go ahead, go for it. All right, who's going to spin? Matt's going to spin there.
It's going to spin here.
I mean, this is, look at
Careful,
Roca.
don't mess up that shirt, man.
Roca is focused.
Trembling.
I haven't seen Roca like this since his Merle match. He's not even looking at the wheel. Look. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Darn you,
But
Matt.
I'll
Top
tell you
10
what.
has strengths.
Here's this isn't. Watch what happens here. I guarantee I know what happens here.
Coming of age, Robin Williams,
They
comic
don't know-
book.
They don't know their
He's
weakness.
not taking that.
That's true. That's true. I'm also trying to watch
Yeah,
Roca
here we
drink
go.
with a mask.
What are you going for?
We're gonna go with
Yeah, see.
biopics.
They went with
Biopics.
biopics. This was.
No.
Here we go.
Oh,
All right,
is
so they
that a
just chose.
Westerns? He's wearing a hat.
They just
I can
chose
do it.
biopics, and this is the problem with them not watching the shows. This is a huge strength of John Roca. He's never missed a question in biopics. Here we go. So now it is biopics. All right, here we go, guys. Category biopics. Here we go. 6 questions. What actor played American entertainer, playwright, and composer George M. Cohen in both Yankee Doodle Dandy and The Seven Little Foys?
James Cagney.
2 points.
2 points. Well,
All right. All right. In Men of Honor, Cuba Gooding Jr. suffers an injury on a ship after and loses a part of his body. What part of his body does he lose?
His leg.
Correct. 2 more points. Who directed the 2005 biographical war drama Jarhead?
Oh, Sam Mendes. It is Sam Mendes, right?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Sam Mendes?
Yeah, it is Sam Mendes.
B, Clint Eastwood. C, Catherine Bigelow. D, Bryan Singer.
Sam Mendes.
1 point.
Yay!
All right, here we go.
I knew a question that they didn't at
Question
first.
4. Question 4.
Me,
What is
proud.
the nickname that Howard Stern gives Paul Giamatti in Private Parts? 5, 4, 3.
Fine. Multiple choice.
Is it A, fat ass? B, pig vomit? C, porker? D, pig nose?
B. Big
Correct. For 1 more point.
Yeah.
All right, 24-13.
That was quick, Buck.
All right, 2
Fat
more. 2
ass.
more.
Who came up with the word fat ass?
Who plays?
I'll give you all
an
credit for
LA
that.
journalist that befriends a homeless
Any
Juilliard
excuse to
trained
put
musician
fat
and a
ass.
soloist?
Robert Downey Jr.
2 points.
2 more.
Wow, look at this. What a. And your last question here. Which actor plays bull rider Lane Frost in 8 seconds?
Oh, it's Luke Perry.
2 more points. Top 10.
It's like his
So
only
look,
movie right after.
that
outside of
is
Buffy.
why you always tell you want to check out your opponents, because they gave the strength, and man, what a round for top 10.
15-point lead.
Top that is in desperation here. They need to hit comic book movies. All right, guys, you guys are up. Go for that spin in order to come back.
Never spun before.
They got it!
Oh.
They got it! Oh my
Gotta
God!
be
They got
kidding
it
me.
again. They got it again.
All right.
Oh man.
So, even if they run the table, they're gonna be down by 3.
One coming in here. In Batman and Robin, how was Alicia Silverstone's Barbara related to Alfred?
Niece.
That's correct.
2
for 2 points.
Wow, coming back to. All right.
What was Jon Favreau's character's full name in the Iron Man films?
Multiple choice?
I'm gonna go for it.
Well, no, you said multiple choice. You said multiple choice.
A. Harold Hawthorne. B. Happy Gilmore. C. Happy Hogan. D. Harry Housen.
Oh. Well, Happy Hogan. We thought you were going for his non-nickname though, but
It says full. It does say full name. I mean, you can challenge it if you want.
I
No,
got I think
we
can
won.
challenge.
We said
You can-
Happy
Oh,
Hogan.
okay, all
Well,
right.
I mean, yeah, but you can challenge. Do you want to challenge it or not? You have one challenge. Or not, you don't have to challenge.
No.
No. Okay. All right.
I'll let the comments decide.
All right. Here we go. Okay. So they got 1 point there. Okay.
All
Next
right.
one.
In Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man took down Ant-Man with a technique
Empire.
from what Star Wars film?
The Empire Strikes Back.
That's
2
correct.
points.
All right. Question 4.
All right. In what 1990s comic book movie did the criminals Fun Boy, T-Bird, Skank, and Tintin appear?
The Crow.
Two
That
more
is
points.
correct.
Fire
2
it
points.
up! Fire it up!
All right. 2 more points here.
Fifth
Two more
question.
questions. Sorry.
Fifth question. What was the first comic book movie to cross $1 billion worldwide at the box office?
Do multiple choice.
A. The Avengers. B. The Dark Knight. C. Spider-Man 3. D. Iron Man.
Spider-Man 3.
Dolphin over there.
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
That's correct for a
One
point.
more point. All right.
Yeah.
Last question here in order to
Last.
get within 5.
Question. In Suicide Squad, what word does the Joker have tattooed on his forehead?
Yeah.
Damaged.
That's
There you
correct.
go. All right, so they came back here. 5
Yeah.
points. They were able to get
It's like
that.
the round didn't exist,
Look,
everyone.
that comic book movie category really helped them out because they were in desperate
Shoot,
need.
damn
there,
near
and
saved
they
'em.
got it. All right, here we go, guys. Round number 3. Round number 3 works like this. The competitors will get 3 categories that they can choose from.
2.
1
Always
to 20.
pick
They
2.
get a 2-pointer, a 3-pointer, and a 5-pointer. They will choose who would like to answer the 2 and the 3, and then collectively they can answer the 5 together should it get there. All right, so top 10, you guys are in the lead. Pick 3 numbers from 1 to 20.
12, 6, and 20.
Already failed.
6, 20. Top that.
9, 14, 17.
You failed
9,
too.
14, and 17.
God
Top
dang it.
that will be going first. They'll be going first, and they have chosen category number 9. Category number 9, and that is the 2-pointer. That is holiday movies. Who's going to be taking the holiday movies?
Holiday movies.
It's your 2 points.
A lot of Netflix.
Here we go. 2 points.
Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
All right,
I'll
Eric's
go.
going
I'll go
for
for
it.
it. Go.
Eric, what song is played over the credits at the end of
The
8 Crazy
Hanukkah
Nights?
song.
I'm guessing the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler.
I got Hanukkah. It's time for Hanukkah.
Jim, in order to tie it up here,
Lay on your harmonica. Got it time
Yeah.
for Hanukkah.
14. In the 1980s, Stallone plays the character
Cobra.
of Marion.
How ironic. We just saw that character.
1980s film.
Rhinestone.
Oh, no.
Correct. Looking
Jim.
for Cobra. Looking for Cobra. Cobra. All right, so now it comes down to this 5-pointer. 5-pointer. These guys can tie it up, or excuse me, they can take the lead if they get this correct. However, if they miss, top 10 will win and play the Patriots for the championship. All right, guys, your 5-pointer. What future Academy Award nominee plays murderer Richard Haywood in the thriller Murder by Numbers?
Ryan Gosling.
For 5 points. They got it
Mm.
there. There you go. They got it.
Wow.
30, 28. So, top 10 can tie it here with the 2-pointer.
Two
Avoid
pointer.
the
I've got the
TKO.
2-pointer right to
two-pointer,
Roka.
Top 10 will get. Category number 12. Oh, sorry.
He's
No, absolutely.
pretty good at
Don't
pretty
take
much
it away
anything.
from me.
If you
All
give it
right.
to
All right,
Johnny,
he
I think
chose number 12 category
you're
is
guaranteeing at
rom-coms. Who will
least
be taking this
tie.
question?
rom-coms. Ooh. Give it to him.
All
There
right,
you go.
the man who understands love less there. All right. 2-point
Nice
question.
one, Ken.
Who plays Jack Nicholson's co-lead Erica in Something's Gotta Give?
Diane Keaton.
That's correct.
Tie game. All right, so now it goes to
Big 2
Matt
points
Nost
now.
can win the game here. If Nost hits this three-pointer, it's over. Top 10 will win. If he misses, it goes to the 5-pointer. All right, Ken.
You chose the number 6. That category is crime. Crime. What were the last names of Bonnie and Clyde in 1967's Bonnie and Clyde?
Is it one name or two different names? Miller.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Didn't get it. All right. So,
Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow.
yes. Parker
Oh,
Barrow.
there's two
But
different names.
they still have a chance.
And I wasn't
to
even
out.
close.
It is the 5-pointer. If they
Well, I had the
game
on
over.
the
If they
end.
don't, we go to sudden
Do I
death
get a third of the
30-30
points?
as we go
That would be
to
1 point.
they can
That'd have been a
tie the
win.
record also if they hit it right now, they would tie the record. But it is now, Ken, category number 20.
You chose number 20. That category is Pixar. Pixar film.
Pixar.
5-point
God.
question. You can confer. Confer. At the beginning of Inside Out, young Riley is shown to have 5 islands of personality. Name 2 of them.
Hockey, family.
Family and hockey.
And
Oh, well, they got those two. I guess that's all that matters. Woo! That was.
They got the Patriots again. It's going to happen for the 3rd time. Top 10 is going to be playing the Patriots. They tied the record. They did it again. They tied the record. What a game. That's got to be the best game they've ever played.
Look, this is Yankees Dodgers. This is Yankees Dodgers. This is long time rivalries. I sometimes I maybe sometimes overlook John Roca. Not overlook his skills, but just sometimes I wonder if he wants to keep going. You know, he's had such a long ride and ups and downs, but Roca and Nost continue to show why they belong in the upper echelon, and I have to admit that now.
Well, let's not take anything away from mighty Matt Nost here. The guy had a perfect first round.
No.
What an absolute showing.
That would have been
by
shocking
top
if they
10.
end up
It wasn't
losing after
something like
that.
sweaty palms that happened maybe in that one match. This is top 10 showing they are an elite team and potential champions here. They can. I mean, if this is the 3rd time they are going to be playing the Patriots, you guys got to be a little nervous after seeing something like that.
We're nervous. That is quite an accusation. We are always aware of our opponents. That is what Tom does as a manager. That is why he's the best manager of all time. We are prepared for all possible outcomes and opponents. We're not worried.
Well, that reminds me,
We're
once Finn
excited
stopped
to
coming
show
back,
top
the
10
band's
that
over
they're
now.
Still not better than the Patriots.
All right, so, and as we get to the post-interviews, Brad Gilmore from the Schmoedown Rundown will be interviewing both top 10
Brett
and
Gilmore.
Top 10. Here we go.
What's up, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? Your man
Hey, at least he looks the same as his Skype picture.
Match of the season, team top 10, an impressive win, gentlemen. But John, I got to tell you first, we haven't seen you play like that since arguably that Dan Merle match. What was going through your mind? What was the difference maker this time?
Well, I tell you something. When you go down to the pit and you lose, and you have a bad 2017, you lose all the awards in the Schmoedown Awards, and you have people saying that maybe he's over it, he's over the hill, maybe he's lost it, maybe he ain't got it anymore. You go back.
Who said that? I don't remember anybody saying that.
Match. I did a lot of meditation, a lot of focus. I did that before this match as well. I didn't take them lightly, but I took care of myself. Just focused on myself, stay within myself, and that's what it took.
And, you know, Matt, y'all tied the all-time points record for teams. You had the first team ever to have a perfect round 1. What was going through your head?
Well, first off, wasn't that our record?
Yeah.
So we just tied ourselves.
That's right.
Oh, it wasn't ours? I'm getting a shake off from Christian saying it wasn't
It's
ours.
above the line.
Does anybody out there believe Christian? I don't. Somebody
Oh,
check
come
it.
on
I
now.
don't believe him at all. The guy bullshits nonstop. It was a great match. It was a great match. Top that. I think it was karma for them having not watched for picking biopics, but then also getting comic book movies.
Yeah.
So
It balanced out.
It did. It balanced out, and it came down to those final couple questions. And luck of the draw, they played a great game. We just happened to play a little bit better today.
No, definitely, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. When Top That said, biopics.
Yeah.
I mean, they got opponent's choice. They picked biopics, a strength of yours, something that you went, I believe, 10 out of 12 right the last season. What was going through your mind?
Nothing but focus. You never know. You know, when you get that so many times as I've rolled it, I thought, well, how many questions are left? And so you start to worry how much deeper these questions are going to go.
True.
How much more obscure they might be. So I didn't have
At the same time, I'm sure you've still seen them all.
Waiting for the questions to come.
You had a lot of momentum coming off that Schmoedown spectacular when y'all beat Team Action, but now, for the third time, you get one more shot at the Patriots for those team championships. What's going to be your strategy going in, and what do you got to say to the Patriots?
Well, let me correct you real quick, Brad. We TKO'd at Team Action. We didn't just
Correct.
beat them. We TKO'd them and sent them back down.
You lay the smack it down.
That's right. We lay smack it down on their candy asses. Yep.
What is it like to basically go back and fight? Look, we're bringing this back to this country, all right? That belt will no longer be in Team Communist hands. So the Maoist regime is going down, okay? Bolsheviks die today. We're bringing the USA is what I want to hear chant from the crowd when we walk in that day. USA, not for the Patriots.
We should
That's a
know.
misnomer, all right?
They're
They're
gonna
trying to
They're
infiltrate.
gonna. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got a backwards hat on.
Look at that.
Listen.
Khrushchev's aborted baby showed up.
Listen, how many
talk about, man?
times are you going to put your hand in a candy jar and get spanked before you realize you can't defeat us? We beat you twice for the championship. This used to be
You got lucky on the
not
first
anymore.
time, and we didn't
Well,
show
what
up
happened the
focused
second time?
We weren't showing up focused. This time we are. We earned our way back.
The second time
Yeah,
didn't happen.
dog
The first
agrees.
time was a fluke.
They're gonna call it the Schmoedown missile crisis by the time
I
we're
have
done. We're
never
gonna push it back.
lost
Take those belts
to
from me.
John Roca in anything, and I will never lose to
life,
John Roca
but
in
okay.
anything.
Yeah.
Life,
There's
Schmoedown.
the ultimate comeback always. In life. I'm better at you in life.
JTE, yeah, someone gets security for him, but hey, guys, once again, you have that championship match coming up. I know you're going to be focusing for that. If y'all want to see more about the Schmoedown, if you want to know more about the movie trivia Schmoedown, check out the Schmoedown Rundown on SK Plus. Myself, Frank Janish, every Saturday.
Cheap
Now,
plug.
Ken,
That's almost
back
like
to
me
you.
plugging
Brad Gilmore here
JTH
with,
Reacts on
Team
my video of
Top That.
JTH
Now, didn't go
Reacts.
your way, guys, this time around. What was your thoughts on the match?
Hey, I thought they were the best team that we've ever played. Even more respect for them now. I think they're legit victory there. I look forward to maybe playing them again down the line someday if we're lucky. Look, we erased a 17-point deficit, and it came down to the wire, so I don't feel that bad. There were a couple of missteps, but I think overall, I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah, Eric, when y'all got comic book movies, a strong suit of yours, what was going through your mind?
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, look, it's amazing. This guy knows how to spin. I'll say that. And so I felt, wow, this is amazing. We have this, and we had a chance to come back. And I felt, yeah, we did come back. Now we didn't
Oh, it's
get it at
Eric
the very
Goldman. I think
end,
I
but
kept calling him
like
Jeffrey
I said,
Goldman.
I feel pretty good about it. I mean,
Sorry.
5 times we played, 3 times we're TKOs.
I guess I don't watch your stuff.
Very last question.
Other than on Schmoedown.
So I think that's still a very respectable showing. So comic books, I'm glad it was
I guess
there.
we're all a little guilty of that.
Stay strong, but yeah, I feel like we can still come back and then do great here.
But Jim, when Team Top 10, when they spun opponent's choice, that's normally a death knell. That's the end of the match for most teams and most competitors here in the movie trivia Schmoedown. But then you gave them biopics. Some people say you didn't watch a lot of the matches, so you might not have known that's a strength of the outlaw John Roca. What was going through your mind when you picked biopics?
Well, I understand that criticism, but there was a method to my madness, which is biopics and westerns are strong suits of mine. So I knew that I was going up against a team that kicked a lot of ass, and so I didn't take any of those categories for granted. I just thought if they missed one, I felt very confident I could get biopics or westerns. But I'm like, do I pick westerns to the guy wearing the fucking cowboy hat who calls himself outlaw? I'm like, I'll go with biopics. Because I had a feeling that comic book movies might come around for us, and sure enough, they did. So,
Well, how did you
it
predict
was a
that?
strategic bet.
Huh?
I'm more pissed that I missed Luca Brasi because I knew that. I'm more pissed about that than biopics. Frankly, I found the crowd's outburst a little distracting.
Well, no, definitely. But here's my thing. If you could go back and do it again, would you pick a different category for it?
I'd probably take coming of age films.
Coming of age.
That's what I
films?
thought you were going to take.
Yeah.
I also have to say we would not have challenged on the Happy Hogan question if we knew it was just Happy Hogan, which we both knew. We thought they were going for Harold Happy Hogan, his full name from the comics, but wasn't what they were looking for.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. You know, I mean, you thought it was the full name, but you could have challenged it. Why not go through the challenge? You have one challenge per match. You could have done it.
It was, and it is definitely 2020 hindsight. We should have, but the fear was if we use this right now, what if we need that challenge later? So it's definitely the flip.
I mean, we were coming back from a huge deficit, and like every choice we were making at that point, I wanted to stay in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm not embarrassed by our loss. We tied it up to the very end. I knew Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker.
Yep.
I was like hoping that they would choke in the next one. I was right about Gosling and Michael Pitt being in Murder by Numbers. So I'm more embarrassed again by the Luca Brasi of it all than I am
and
anything else.
I'm embarrassed by on the very first question, trying to not remembering Redford directed the quiz show, and like he thought I was going for the writer.
Paul Anastasia,
the director, Paul something.
Yep.
That's who wrote it.
Well, guys, what's next? Jim, what's next for Team Top That?
Happy hour, and then maybe I'll go into singles. I've been curious about that. I would like to. I love doing this. I wish I had done a
That's
little
true.
bit
They
today,
were talking about
when it was
Jim.
30 to 30
At first, they had
it came
confirmed
down
that Jim
to
was going to
just
play
questions. I'm not embarrassed
Adam
by the
Hlavik
loss.
of
If anything,
former
I feel
superhero
more
news, but
emboldened
then
by
it was
and
announced that
I
Adam
would say, again,
was
this is
added
the
to
best
this
team we played.
series of
So,
five-way
yeah,
matches that's going to happen in the
Now,
Inner
if you go into
Kingdom.
singles,
So
would there be anybody
apparently
you'd like
they've
to call out
completely
right now?
scrapped that previous idea. So
Let's not push our luck for today. Okay?
Not sure what they're gonna do
I'll
there.
come back to you on that one.
Luca something.
Yeah, I want to play Luca Brasi. I want him to finally go fucking sleep with the fishes. There we go.
All right, well, that's Team Top That. Christian and Ken, back to y'all.
All right, as we come back, look, top 10 is ecstatic. They cannot wait to play the Patriots. They are firing shots off already. That match will be happening not too far away, man. They are going to be the Patriots top 10 head-to-head one more time. They got the shot, but then you listen, you talk to Top That, who, they were a little upset. They obviously, again, Jim and Eric, very busy guys, and they will be next match. We'll see. Maybe, like they said, they'll watch the game tape. We'll see what happens. But Jim wants to get into the singles league, and I think that's where he might belong.
Look, a loss is a loss. It is what it is. But no one can doubt Top That's talent.
Oh,
We've seen what they can do before.
their two best games they lost.
You find me a team out there who's just going to casually toss out 30 points. That's still tough. And as far as top 10, dreams come true, John and Matt. Dreams come true until it turns into a nightmare. And your nightmare, TikTok, is about to begin when you step into the ring with the Patriots.
Propaganda personified. All right, guys, now before we go, I want to let you guys know once again about the Patreon. Like we said, we're going to be adding so many more matches. We're going to be adding so many more things for you guys.
14, 16.
Us do this.
Over
Patreon,
1,400 Patreons.
Become a subscriber. Go ahead, right in the link.
JTH knows what he's talking about every once in a while.
More matches.
Every once in a while.
The app for the Android, a lot of these different things that we're trying to get more editors, more writers, things that you guys can help us with. All you got to do, check it out. We're offering some really great tiers for all of you. Check it out, become a subscriber, and we'll see you on Friday when, look at this match, the Professor, Lon Harris, goes up against who he says is his protege, Cody Hall, the web slinger himself, this Friday on Schmoedown. Welcome back to Season 5, guys. Happy to have you. Like, comment, check it
Who
all out.
threw that match together?
Shambles, I miss doing Collider Nightmares. I hope you're doing okay.
You know, speaking of nightmares, the real nightmare is that some people consider you to be a horror expert. I'll have you know, I am a horror expert.
Well, I'm glad you think you're a horror expert. I've done the show Nightmares. I don't know if you heard about it.
You've done a show Nightmares. Presumably you know about horror movies. How many of the Howling sequels have you seen?
Probably all of them. Maybe the Marsupials was my favorite.
Well, all right, fine. How many of the Hellraiser sequels have you seen?
Only the good ones.
So the first two, then?
Yes.
Not the previous.
I watched
the preceding 7.
I watched up to the 4th one. I have a guilty pleasure.
Ah, I see. Well, I see you have a little bit of horror expertise, but I'll have you know that I am an Evil Dead expert.
Well, I want to say something too off the cuff here, but I'm also an Evil Dead expert.
Uh-huh. If you're an Evil Dead expert, you would know the name of the tie-in puppet toy for Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
Would you be talking about Ashy Slashy?
Well, I would.
Well, how about Evil Dead, the second film? What was the subtitle?
Dead by Dawn.
All right.
Well, you guys seem very knowledgeable of Evil Dead lore, history, but you need a little help. I'm here to help. I'm going to team you guys with some real experts from Ash versus Evil Dead. And if you know about Evil Dead, you'll know what that is. That's a show. Soon to be in its 3rd season. Ash versus Evil Dead.
Awesome.
Only
Soon,
on
I
Stars,
hear.
$2.25.
Nice.
You got to download the Stars app, though. Okay.
Okay.
But guys, I'm going to pair you with 2 people from our show. Ray Santiago, Dana DiLorenzo, right now.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Oh, and the celebrity thing is in gold. I knew one of them was in
What's up,
yellow,
Schmoedown fans?
one green,
Frank
one
here,
gold.
and I'm here to fact check. This is your Schmoedown breakdown. What we just witnessed from top 10 was
That would
the
be interesting.
most
A
accurate
team
match
crossover.
of all time. But
That's
first we need to start in round 1 where John Roca
was not
and
expecting
Matt
they would do
Miller
something
were
like
the
that.
first duo to have a perfect round in the same match, and that would include answering the bonus correctly. And despite a near perfect game from top 10, they nearly squeaked out a 5-point victory
Nearly
over
squeaked
Eric
out.
and Jim. Now, taking a closer look at the numbers for this match, top that
Like they're doing the box score now.
as a team, answering
26 for
84% correct is the 8th
27.
best all time, and their 30 points made them just the 8th
Oh,
different team to
possible
score
points.
30 points or more.
Dare I
The big
say,
story is top
26 for
10
27 isn't
26 of
87.5.
27,
And then
making it the most
it's the other
accurate
one.
performance from a team
It's
in
96.3.
Schmoedown history. Not to mention,
I
they also
sorry.
have a scoring record of 35 points with above the line. Now, to see other records were set from this match, check out SD Rundown Stats on Twitter for more, and don't forget to check out the Schmoedown Rundown podcast
Gladly.
every Saturday on the SK Plus YouTube channel or on the Schmoes Know podcast feed on iTunes. This has been your Schmoedown Breakdown.
Thank you, Frankie Stats Janish. All right, that was high scoring entertainment, kind of like the Super Bowl, just without the defense. I don't know how people can like games like that with no defense whatsoever. But in a trivia match, love high scoring affairs, absolutely. So, top 10. I'm sorry. I rooted for you to win, but ultimately I did not think you were going to pull it out. But you played the game of a lifetime, and I sorry, very sorry. And yeah, we now get top 10 Patriots Twee. Are they finally going to get it done? Is it going to be 3 times the charm, or is it going to be 3 strikes and you're out? Well, we'll find out. Apparently, according to them, it's not going to be too far away. I assume it would be probably either end of the month or start of next month, beginning of March. Who knows? It's going to be interesting because I believe the free for all will be sometime mid-March. So I'm guessing the singles championship match that we just witnessed the #1 contender for, and the team title match will take place before that free for all event. But no idea on confirmed dates. All we know is we have 2 of our championship matches confirmed and announced, just waiting on dates. So with that being said, that will do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1. The Schmoedown Rundown, oddly enough, just decided to follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys. That means a lot. You can also join the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page. They are accepting new members every single day. You can chat with everybody, fans and players alike. It's a lot of fun. It's great to chat and hang out with a lot of people that is based on Schmoedown fanatics and all the other Schmoedown goodness. And the Schmoedown Patreon page, as they have brought up, it's a great cause. Always try to donate whatever you can. It means a lot to them, and anything to make the Schmoedown as great as it possibly can be is nothing but great for all of us Schmoedown fans. But with that being said, that's going to do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Until next time, I am JTH, saying until next time, thank you for watching, and I bid you adieu.